Hello friends, brothers and sisters of the NFI Collab. I come before you today filled with dismay, for I have grave news to bear. Heed my warning carefully, for what I have to say is dire and you must know, for just like Bill, the end is nigh. The end is nigh. This is no time for cute music, I have important things to say. Though the music might be nice, okay. Friends, we've all heard tales of monsters. Surely you've heard the urban legends. But did you know that monsters are, in fact, real, but not as you would have believed? In fact, we have been lied to most of our lives, and there is a history that you do not know. But I have come here today to inform you of the truth. We've believed for centuries that humanity was the rulers of this earth. But did you know that that is not the way that it was? For in fact, the original inhabitants, the indigenous population of this planet was originally the Davinians. That and the pandas. The Davinians and pandas. The rest came later. Now the Davinians were made up of many races. The Davombi, for example, an undead creature known to feast off the flesh of old memes and forgotten in-jokes. The Were-Dave, a cuddly hug-giving teddy bear by day, but by night, a ferocious caramel dancing fool. The Davowie Yahoo, a vampirous creature that seeks out its victims by the scent of Gentleman Jack in their blood. The higher the alcohol content, the greater the danger. And these great beasts were all ruled by their king, the Deva Chupacabra Wendigo Davapire, a monstrous beast so terrifying that even the stars would tremble and weep at the mere sound of his name. Deva Chupacabra Wendigo Davapire. Now believe it or not, these creatures were not monsters at all. These were merely the inhabitants of this great and luscious green planet. Them alongside their cuddly counterparts, the pandas. And that's just the way that it was. That's the way the Earth was formed. But here is where we come in. Us, the humans. Of course, we weren't called that back then. For you see, our planet was dying. We killed it. And we were seeking a new place to call home when our eyes fell upon a magnificent gem in the sky. A place we now know as Earth. And so we left our home planet of Uranus, sorry, I always pronounce that wrong, and searched for our new beginning. The first group to leave were the Azholes, for they were from the capital of Uranus, Azhole. And when they arrived on Earth, they were greeted with a warm welcome from King David Chupacabra Wendigo Davapire. King David Chupacabra Wendigo Davapire, and the other Davinians offered them food, shelter, a pet panda for every man, woman, and child, and an offer of peace. But the original inhabitants of Uranus, were cruel and selfish people. They saw what the Davinians had and they wanted it for themselves. So they devised an evil plan. They harvested all of the pet pandas for their cuteness, dissolving their very essence into an ethereal substance that the Azholes then fused with the darkest of magics that they could summon to create an altered dimensional prison. A pocket universe so powerful that it could hold an entire world's inhabitants and send them for all of eternity into an empty, meaningless void. They called it the Panda Aura Box. The plan was to present King David Chupacabra Wendigo Davapire a gift, the gift being the Panda Aura Box. It would appear as a doorway of which the Azholes would claim was a magical portal to a paradise of imaginable riches. However, when King David Chupacabra Wendigo Davapire would step inside, oh lordy, the Panda Aura Box would power on, identifying his very essence and then consuming and devouring every single like being for all of eternity. Those beings, the Davinians. Now it's important to note that the Azholes were made up themselves of many clans, all differentiated by the headgear that they wore, the head garb, which was made and designed to symbolize the separate and individual deities of each clan. And it was a form of reverence that the religious headgear never be removed under any circumstances, including that of the mating rituals. But more to the point, More to the point, every clan was behind this plan. Every clan but one. The leader of that clan was none other than my own ancestor, Van Hovius Winifred Coover. And he and his followers were not so keen on this plan. In fact, they wanted to live with the Divinians and the Pandas in harmony and peace. However, it would not be so, for the Coover clan was gravely outnumbered. So the day came that the evil plan was put into place. The gift, the Panda Aura box, was presented to the King Dave Chupacabra. The gift of the Panda Aura box was presented today. King David Chupacabra Wendigo Devapire stepped inside. The Panda Aura box powered on, and in an instant, every last Davinian was sucked inside for all of eternity. However, in that moment, that slight single moment between the beginning of that instant and the end of that instant, Van Hovius Winifred Coover found a moment to slip in. Two things. One was an apology letter and an explanation for what was going on, and two was a magical timepiece. The letter explained what the Coover clan really wanted and how they couldn't do anything about it at the time. However, it also explained that every 2,000 years, the Panda Aura box would have to reboot in order to remain secured. The reboot would only take but a slight second, a minuscule measurement of time. And in that time, the walls, the barrier of that ethereal prison would be compromised. Without precise measurements of time, you would never be able to break it. However, in that exact moment, the right amount of magic, a single pulse of magic at the right moment, would cause the entire thing to collapse, and all the inhabitants of that prison would be released back into the regular dimension. It was a key, a way out. The Coover clan had given them what they needed to return to their realm, hence the timepiece. Magical timepiece. So here's the important part, the whole reason you needed to know the truth of our history and our origins. Right here it is. After I cough. Time began being recorded on the very day that the Azholes left Uranus, and from that time on it was recorded. Now it took 17 years for the Azholes to travel to Earth, and once they arrived it wasn't long after the Panda Aura box was utilized. That being said, the year that the Panda Aura box would reboot is none other than this year, 2017. Which means that this is the year the magical timepiece will rupture the barrier of the Panda Aura box. This is the year the Davinians and their king, David Chupacabra Wendigo Devapire, will return to the earth and seek their vengeance upon the descendants of the original Azholes that trapped them in that thing for all of eternity. Except not all of eternity, because the Coover clan saved them. Now much of this history has been forgotten, covered up, in fact, by many. As you can imagine, the rest of the Azholes were not very pleased with what the Coover clan had done, and so much of them had gone into hiding until all had been forgotten. However, there was a prophecy that had been passed down from generation to generation within the Coover clan that I now hold here in my hand. The prophecy reads, "When the barrier breaks and all of earth shakes, so the king shall return in a blaze. His hatred will burn, and with the fire he'll turn the liars to ash in 9 days." But there is still hope for those who can cope with the king in his rightful place. For the fires won't reach the clan who did teach the Divinians to return from that space. So, brothers and sisters of the NFI Collab, I am here now to tell you of the truth of the history, the past that we have forgotten for so long, that we've been lied to through our education, to cover up a terrible beginning. But worry not, for I have the secret. You remember that head garb I told you about? The one that differentiated those of each different clan. King David Chupacabra Wendigo Devapire remembers. And he will honor the promise made in that prophecy. So here is your way out. If you wish to avoid the wrath of King David Chupacabra Wendigo Devapire, all I ask is that you join the clan. Join the Coover clan. And so how can you show your loyalty? to the Coover clan and so avoid the terminal wrath that is to come from the return of King David Chupacabra Wendigo Devapire? The answer is simple. Put on the religious head garb and never, never take it off. Only then will you become part of those that will be preserved, those that will be spared in what's to come. I'm sorry, my friends, to my brothers and sisters of the NFI Collab, but this is the only way to ensure a future. I bid you farewell and wish you all the best of luck. Until next time, in hopes that I see you in the future, this is Mr. Bunny signing off. That slight moment between the beginning of that instant and the end, a pillow fell down.